Syndrome podcast for high-achieving layabouts.
Welcome, my fellow imposters, to the Imposter Syndrome podcast, where we'll be discussing anything and everything in order to appeal to everyone and no one. I'm your host, Jamie Charnahos, and with me as always are my co-hosts, Mike Delisle and Rick Delisle, no relation. Between the three of us, we have a combined 75 years broadcasting experience in film, television, radio, and poorly cobbled together podcasts. You may remember us from such critically acclaimed and totally real podcasts such as Man vs. Nature, The Road to Victory, and the Proud Plagiarist podcast. Today on the show, we'll be discussing the Nintendo Classic and the news that the rights to Frank Herbert's Dune was purchased by Legendary Pictures. So, without any further rigmarole, welcome to the show, and let's get started. Okay, we're going to get into topics first, and then we'll do rants.
Okay, fair enough.
So, topic number one on the docket, Nintendo Classic, and go, Mike.
Okay, what do you want to know about the Nintendo Classic? What angle are you taking on this question? Like, you're just saying there's a Nintendo Classic out there.
Well, first of all, what is it? Bring us up.
Yeah, that's a good
Not everybody
start.
knows. We need to bring it up to speed here. Mike, go ahead. What do we do?
It's basically what it is a collection of games put on a small version of the NES. It's a cute little, miniature-sized NES.
Back it up. What's an NES? I'm kidding.
Right. Nintendo Entertainment System, released in 1983 by Nintendo.
Is that what it stands for?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I had no idea. I always called it that, but I didn't even...
Serious?
Man.
Okay, well, you know what?
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
You're not the game guy. You wouldn't understand this, Rick. But anyways, the Nintendo Entertainment System was a video game system that came out in the 80s. And because nostalgia is really huge right now, they obviously re-released these games on this package that everybody wants. There's 30 games, 30 of the most classic games. You got 30. Castlevania.
That's it? Just 30?
Only 30 of the games, but some of the best games on the system.
Arguably, yeah. I have watched lists of what's the other 30 games you should have put on there?
Right.
Because really, they could put 50,
they could fit them all.
60.
They could put them all on there.
There's
That's
hundreds
the big
of
thing.
games, though, and a lot of them are shit.
Yeah.
But the 30 that they do include, and we might have to actually figure out what they are. I couldn't name them, but
well, if we were good and prepared, Tom would have gotten to the list here. But
Fucking Tom. He knew we were talking about this.
He always comes unprepared. I don't know why
it's
we
like
pay him.
Castlevania, you got Mega Man 2, you got Mario Bros. 1, 2, 3. You got a lot of really big, the big, huge NES games all put on a little package, sold in the classic retro box, and it just looks just awesome and everybody loves it, right?
Caveat here too, none of us own it. You have an actual Nintendo.
Yeah.
So what I want to know,
I have a huge Nintendo collection, like the hugest out of everybody.
I played it originally.
It's glorious, actually.
It's
I really
pretty sweet.
saying that.
You have
Very respectable.
almost all 30 of the games on the list.
Almost all 30. There's a few notable exceptions. I couldn't go through them now. I don't have any Mega Mans. I think it has a good Mega Man game on there.
They have, I think it's Mega Man 2 on that one.
Yeah, which is apparently the best game.
Yeah. Where the first one, obviously... Well, and I love how video games, as an aside, they get the sequels better every time, more often than not, whereas movies always fuck up the sequel.
Right,
Good
Good point. That's a good,
That's
right?
very true.
So a video game sequel is always a notable improvement. Although there's that's not, you can't even really say that, actually.
Yeah.
A graphical improvement, but there's some...
I don't know, storyline,
There's
gameplay,
sequels in games that suck
extra
balls,
features,
dude.
There's a couple Halos that didn't
Right?
live up to
Halo
the
4
thing.
was not as good as Halo 3.
We're talking about the big franchise stuff that, they're obviously jumping the shark in a lot of ways, trying to pump out games. Anyway, that was my aside.
Yeah.
But what I was saying
I always
was
love that point.
So now that you have the option of the Nintendo Classic, it's this, little hand. It's tiny. It has the original controllers. It's essentially the same. They even have a function on it where you can change your view screen or whatever to widescreen mode. There's the one that changes it to look like an old school TV. Mm-hmm. So there's no need to have an original Nintendo basically.
Right.
So as an original Nintendo owner, does it kind of fuck you up a little bit? Are you still gonna buy it?
This is where you should talk about how podcast. This is where you should talk about I have that fucking thing on my laptop.
Well, I was waiting to interject because I'm biting my tongue. I was going to let you guys play this one through a little bit, but I'd like to interject here. I have a huge contention with what I see that's going on here, and the fact that I'm paying probably a ridiculous amount for 30 fucking games is a crock of shit to me. That is garbage,
It's
man.
$60. It's not that much money.
First of all, that's a lot of money, man. That's $2 a game when they're all for free.
True. Yeah.
It's
$2 a
60
game.
nostalgia bucks.
No, but Here's the
They're
thing.
over illegally. They're for free.
Well, yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah, bone of contention noted.
Hear me out.
But
here, okay.
no, I don't.
No,
wanna
there's
agree
more
with
to it than that, man. 30. I mean, come on, that is nothing. And that's peanuts. That is like
Yeah, of the catalog, you're right.
that's like
It is
30
a-
megabytes
It is a
of
small
fucking
amount
data.
of actual gaming potential.
I think they're ripping off nostalgia, man. I
think
think they're
about-
raping it dry, and it sucks.
Or they're like astute businessmen that realize they could put an NES Classic 2 out
They're
next year.
sold
with
out.
And
just-
anybody
yeah.
with a good
No,
critical
that's right.
mind should be
There's no
pissed off, too.
downloadable function. Like, it
didn't buy
doesn't
one yet.
connect to the internet. It's a self-contained unit. 30 is all you get. Now, okay, fine. Good for you, Nintendo. But it's sold out. You can't
I'll
find
tell you,
it.
Yeah.
if I can interrupt,
Everybody wants one.
the
get
real
that,
problem
that
is
sucks.
it's only 30 games.
That's my
You
point.
can't download. Oh, they can't release Mega Man 3 in a week or two. You pay 99 cents in the iTunes store.
Yeah.
You get Mega Man 3
But
instead
isn't
now.
there problems with those, like, playability of the... What are they... when you download it, it's not as good as the original, isn't it?
I never
playing
noticed
it on
that.
your
I don't
computer?
even. I've never
know, I
noticed.
never
I have them
noticed
all
that,
on my
man.
laptop. I
I'm
love
sure
it. It's
there's
awesome. I
some-
play my Xbox
I'm sure
controller
there's
on it. It's
some
perfect.
internet
In fact, it's the
guy
only way
who's
I'm
like,
able to beat any of them.
It's
Certainly with
better.
the save states. They have save states on this thing.
Okay.
You can save states on this thing.
Yeah.
3 save states
Yeah,
per.
that's huge.
Yeah.
Apparently they got the interface right. Like, we're not even doing a review of it. We're just, like, bitching
Bitching
about...
about.
yeah.
Like,
what
I
we
guess the
think
question
about
is,
it.
are you going to buy one,
I've
Jamie?
never played one. I'm totally going to buy it.
You're gonna total buy it?
I like collecting retro games, but I fucking hate collecting retro games.
Yeah. Talk about waste of money.
Yeah.
Like, actually buying. If you're going to buy each of those games on a cartridge, you could do that on one cartridge.
Yeah.
And I have. So.
Yeah, it's
Really, I
that's
could
the
just,
thing,
for the
like-
amount of money I'd spend on a cartridge, I could buy the fucking NES Classic Edition and feel good about
actually,
it.
There's
It's awesome.
somebody should do this. Jim could probably do this, but to figure out what would the cost be to buy an original Nintendo and the two controllers
Jim,
and all 30 games on the vintage market. What
Right.
would that actually cost? I'm sure somebody's done it. We're not the first thing.
I could probably do a ballpark.
I'm sure our viewers will be
It's
chiming in and letting
150
us
for
know
the
right
classic
away.
Nintendo with the two controllers and the hookup. That's $150 right there for a good one.
There you go.
Here's what I want. I want new games dialed back to be.
Yeah, I want
back
them to
in the
make
day.
cartridges that you can use on old Nintendos, new games and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I got away from cartridges is because it's like expensive to produce the cartridges. That's why everything's switched to CDs because you can just.
Pump them up.
They're just like burning. There's like some nerds in a factory just like burning discs now.
Yeah.
But like, I guess what I'm saying is like, I want every game that I'm buying that's new to come with like an arcade version of the game, and maybe even produce a cartridge because that would probably say if you can get Call of Duty. Well, actually, Call of Duty actually even almost kind of did it. They had like an arcade version of their game that was like a mini game on the game. But every time I'm playing
Right.
like a new game, I like, man, this would be so cool if you just like put it back to like side scrolling, like old school.
Dial back the graphics.
Just dial it
make
back.
it a new game,
Yeah.
retro style. They have that. They've done that.
Well,
yeah.
they do
Good.
8-bit and 16-bit.
And they have done new
Side-scrolling.
games on cartridges.
But
There's
you
some
play
out
them
there.
on your,
Yeah.
You play them
Yeah.
on your iPhone, right? Like there's.
No, I'm talking about there's people that have designed games on
Yes.
cartridges, and
Yes,
you can buy that
that's
like
true.
a few
You can play
homebrews
them.
and hacks. A thing I seen today on a really good friend of the podcast, Metal Jesus. He's one of the YouTube guys. Comes in all the time to this podcast.
Right.
Yeah,
We've had him on. dozens
He
of times.
today he
he's
was
been
showing there's a guy who released a CD on the cartridge. Now that opens up a lot of the questions. Is like there is the NES cartridges on their own could hold a certain amount of waveforms. You get the bleach of steel. That's a wave. That's the
Yeah,
same kind
and
of
you
files
can
we use nowadays.
Sort of
There's a
tell that they're saying. like-
Ghostbusters! Like that shitty.
Yeah.
He was like,
No,
oh,
that's
let's
right.
figure it out. So he made a cartridge and he has 10 songs, fully rendered music. You put it in your NES, you push down on the NES, and
Oh,
you listen
cool.
through your speakers.
That's cool.
It's his band.
Oh.
And it's like, and he's playing classic Nintendo tunes on an NES cartridge that you
Yeah.
play through your
That
NES.
is bitchin'.
That is hella
We got to get
bitchin'.
him back on this show, man, because that guy's awesome.
Yeah, he was just gonna release it when he was before the show, but now he has released it and it is bitchin'.
Yeah.
I helped him with it actually.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
Yeah, I don't
That's
remember
awesome.
that.
anyways, pretty bitchin', and yeah, so they have done that. There are some guys out that are trying to keep that. Push the cartridge down into the Nintendo.
That's what you don't. You know, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have a
I love
hard
that
time because
feeling.
the classic doesn't have. I mean, it's just a box. There's no the little door doesn't open. There's no
Right.
cartridges, so like, I'm gonna wanna. I miss it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't want to collect Nintendo.
They should have just
I
made
want
it
to
that
play.
you can
know what?
download
I looked at the
games.
30 games. Like, that's pretty much all I want to play.
That's the only
And you
word
have
games
a-
worth having.
You have a ton of games that are good, but there's some of them are pretty unplayable.
Oh, I got some filler in there for sure. Yeah,
There's a lot of
Some of the
garbage.
junky ones that are just kind of like cool cover. Got it for $5, whatever. Yeah.
What I really like about back then that we don't really have now anymore is like secrets in games back then were secrets.
Oh, they were fucking
Like how the hell did you find
that's
out?
right.
Even the
Yeah,
stuff on
there
how
were
to
whispers in the
best.
even how to
playground.
operate the system, man, to blow into the cartridge. Everybody knew that, but how? The internet did not exist.
It's all word of mouth, man.
It even says on the back of the cartridge to
I
not
kinda
do that.
feel like there's an anthropological drive to like
blow on.
Not
Whoa.
working. Hit it a couple times.
Yeah, like,
and then
no.
somehow wet it, make it
That's
wet.
learned
It's like
from our
old-
childhood.
It's all like tube technology. You
Yeah.
would smack your TV,
Yeah.
you blow on the Nintendo.
Yeah,
That's how
for
it
sure.
works.
You had to
Fidget
wiggle
with
it a
the
little
rubber,
bit.
yeah.
You had to. It didn't
all-
quite work all the time.
It's tactile, and there's nothing you could fidget with on the Nintendo. You could kind of maybe
Yeah.
dick around with the cords, but
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you had to push the reset button in,
well,
like on an angle.
Yours has a trick. You
Oh,
have to
right.
push to the right.
Yeah,
on the
you have to
cartridge.
kind of wedge the cartridge
'Cause
a little
pins
to the
won't-
side.
They
Yeah.
won't make contact unless you kind of jar
Yeah.
it to the right.
Yeah, for sure. That and I think you're talking more about
Part of the nostalgia.
like if there was like a secret in Legend of Zelda, like a secret.
I'm talking
entryway.
about both, but yeah, that as well.
It's like, how did you know to do it? Well, it's because you had your friends over,
Yeah.
and they were playing
Yeah.
it together with
Or
you, and you
you-
were doing it, and you were grinding that game.
or you read Nintendo Power.
oh,
Right,
And finally it was
Yeah.
featured,
That's
and
a
it was
collectible
like,
item, too.
fuck
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you gotta get some
I'd
of
love-
those. man.
Yeah. They're the
Not
only
cheap.
reason secrets exist in games is to sell the Nintendo Power type
For
books
sure,
and,
kind of, yeah.
and guides and stuff, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's genius.
The other
love that
thing,
shit.
the other thing that I really appreciated about back in the day is those things were fucking durable, man. Because I lost my
They're
shit
still
on
working.
so many games.
Yeah, they still work.
They
That's
were
a testament
hard.
to their
They were really
hardiness.
bitchingly hard
totally.
games. And so I would like toss,
Nintendo hard, yeah.
Yeah, I would toss those controllers, man. I
Oh,
would
yeah.
like and
Leave them lying around,
Yeah.
step on them. Oops!
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Oh shit! Yeah, you did have your Xbox controller, man. There goes like $300.
Oh yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't spill anything on them.
Oh no, man.
Or like
Sometimes they just die on their own.
But
You had it for a
I
year and it
think-
just dies.
You hit it a little bit, you're blowing it, and fucking works again.
it's fine, yeah. But I mean, there was a lot more like collateral damage because someone would walk in front of the fucking TV, mom,
Yeah.
and, like
Trip over the
back
cord.
over everything.
Close
like,
the whole unit out
you
of
know what I mean? Like you would go flying with
Yeah,
the
totally.
controller like across.
And sure,
the
Mom,
coffee table.
you made me die.
Yeah, and of
Pizza.
course I didn't save. 'Cause
Yeah.
my God.
such a big deal back in those days.
Oh yeah, that was. I
NES,
actually
you didn't have much saving except for Zelda. It was the first game to have a battery.
You'd
you could
remember
save.
codes or write them down, whatever. But like, the
sure.
best is when you rented a game and the
Pre-save.
fucking saint who played it before you wrote the code on the instruction manual.
Yeah, right.
So when you got to rent that game, it had a code for like whatever level. So
Yeah,
you're
you had like
"Oh my
level
God,
99,
who is
the
this
new
genius?"
sword.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know what? I never wrote them down myself. Like,
Yeah.
I forgot to do it.
It was
I
always
read them
just-
in my own little
You never
notebook.
passed
Some
it on.
mystical guy that
Or I'd
fucking,
wrap it in the one rental session, which
Yeah.
is like a good sign that you shouldn't buy the game or whatever.
Yeah.
But you would wrap it and then whatever. No, you didn't write any shit down because you'd only write shit down when you're done.
Yeah.
You never wrote it down if you like kept going, right?
Yeah. Like who is that guy to like write it in the book to be like, man, somebody is gonna need this.
Somebody, yeah, like.
That's
You
fucking
did.
awesome.
You needed it.
It's
You
weird 'cause
needed to
it's
write
like-
that shit down. Like,
Well, I mean, like me as a kid, I'm like, I don't want to damage property. Like that would be damaging the
Yeah,
property
yeah.
of the
Right,
the
of
book,
course,
right?
yeah.
Like.
I also
was a kid
remember
kid.
like in the old days of Final Fantasy or something like that where it was like kind of way late in the game, somebody had saved it and you like go to play that one, you're like, man, they have all the magic and all the spells. And it's
oh,
like,
they're on the floating island thing.
fuck, dude, I never even seen
This
it
is
that
gonna
far.
be epic. And then you go back to your little guy. He's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
sword attack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the little, I don't know.
Maybe
I
we
want
should bring
one.
this segment to an end here pretty
Well,
soon.
okay, let's sum it up. Are you gonna buy one? Okay, 'cause
Well, you already gave your answer.
I'm gonna buy one. You're gonna
I'm not gonna buy one.
play mine,
Yeah.
and you don't give a shit.
I'm fucking not gonna buy one until you can fit all games on there. I am not buying that, man. That is garbage.
And you know what? This is actually
People are getting ripped
this
off.
Is, this is
It
my
reminds me of another thing. They actually have cartridges that have all the games on them, and you put them in your Nintendo and play them too. They have that too.
Yeah,
Well,
there
They,
is-
they exist.
There is a thing,
multi
yeah.
drives or fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We're gonna talk about Dune.
One of my
Frank-
favorite all-time books, sci-fi, anything you want. That's one of my all-time
Dune
favorites.
by
I'm a
Frank
pro at
Herbert,
it.
not the other Dunes that you may know. But I don't even know any other ones, but I know there is other Dunes. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
nothing-
it is the
I wrote a Dune before. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
You talking about my Dune?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I have a few Dunes.
Tom,
Am
grab
I
me a
the
beer.
Dune?
So,
Are you?
okay, we're just going to talk about the fact that it got the rights to the movies and television have been bought out by Legendary Pictures, which has done good work.
International company.
Yeah, they've done good work.
Huge,
They've
huge,
handled
huge.
a lot of big epic, and I'm going to say they've done a lot of stuff, but I actually don't know what they've done.
Yeah, they have
no
done
idea.
things that you would
but I've
recognize.
seen
I'm pretty
a lot
sure.
of it. We're very unprepared to know what they've done, but I'm just confident that they'll treat it well. And what's interesting to me is that the rights to the book, and for those of you who don't know what Dune is, you're fucking listening to the wrong podcast. Because
Right, this is the Imposter podcast.
Yeah.
Don't come in here pretending you're
We're
doing.
expecting you to
Oh,
know
guys,
this shit.
I don't know what Dune is.
I'm not explaining it to you either. So,
Yeah. Sorry, man. It's,
yeah, sorry, Dune.
You've read
Yeah,
it
you're
though.
done.
I have, yeah. I've read the books. I read the books. I watched all the shows because I really wanted to douse myself in some Dune, get some full Dunage. I wanted
Dune it up.
just all Duned, man.
Really-
I fucking Duned all over
I
the
went
place.
Dune
when I watched
to
it.
Dune. Yeah.
I Duned up, man. It was great.
So, what I want to know from you guys, and I'll just open up the floor.
Spoiler alert, the Nerdist podcast, really good friends of ours, they're just downstairs.
Right.
They did this topic, and the spoiler alert, the number one thing is that what they wanted to see out of the new Dune movie was Androfsky's Dune. Like,
Jodorowsky.
Jandrowski's
Okay, fair enough.
Dune.
Just let me know.
That's
that
was
we
their
will
number one.
never
That's like, just do
pronounce-
whatever he said. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's sort of weak, because a lot of those
I
fucking
didn't,
images...
I didn't like what he did, a lot of this stuff. Have you seen, okay, based on previous performance of his movies, what's that one? The Golden Mountain?
the high, Priest on High Mountain, or the Holy Mountain.
Holy Mountain.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks,
the
Tom.
guy lays a fucking gold brick, like he shits a gold brick.
Right.
And there's like, it
Looks
looks
all
cool.
arty and
Looks cool,
It is
but you know
beautiful.
what?
It's awesome.
Dune-
You've seen that, right, Rick?
Yeah.
Part of it, to me, there was some psychedelica with the whole, the spices, space travel and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
with the
Calls it
navigators and like all this stuff is like, I'm assuming it probably looks
To
pretty
answer
cool.
your original question,
But, yeah, I don't
To
know.
answer your original question, that's definitely something I want more emphasis on, is the spice. I think the spice was kind of like, he's something that was really mentioned a lot in the background, but I want to see more about, like, its effects, and I want to see more of an emphasis on that stuff.
You're talking metachlorinizing the fucking spice, and I do not like that.
Yeah, I want to
It's a mystical-
You gotta say about that.
You're talking like introducing metachlorines into the spice, and I'm like,
Ooh, he just threw down the gauntlet
I
on
did.
you to that,
I-
dude.
I
Are you gonna
basically-
metachlorinize the spice? Is that what you
Well,
want to
I
do?
don't-
Is that what your answer is?
I will say, if like you can explain it, they do explain it mostly metaphysical terms, so I get where you're coming from. You want to see a little more scientific. You can sink your teeth into it scientifically, as far as to like, well, how does it fucking make you see in time and space?
No, I'm not saying throw some science in there. I'm just saying, like, I want to see some effects on it. I want to see, like,
Oh.
that needs to be, like, there's some good special effects behind, like, the...
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I'm
There you
thinking...
go. Now
of-
you're starting to
navigators.
answer the question.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of...
Sorry, I bit your head off there
Yeah, that's
about
okay.
that. I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, that's...
If I had to step back, I had to be like, whoa,
Yeah,
okay,
it was
let's
getting pretty
resolve
serious.
this one.
I'd piss my pants.
Okay, so let's get back on topic here. So what do you want to see out of the new Dune movie, Rick?
Well, I just said, the spice. I'm really... down
That's
with
all
the
you
spice.
get. It just
And
has to be the
the
spice.
fucking worms,
More
man.
spice.
So I'm all about the worms.
And the worms.
Aside from that, I'm so tainted from the previous two. I loved the book.
That's
the book
the
was
problem.
great.
A lot of people
but
are
the previous
gun-shy
two,
about-
the previous two almost made me think that it cannot be a good movie. It's like a lot of, like, I don't know, Stephen King stuff.
I think
it's like,
two
it's better,
movies.
like-
You got to do Dune in 2 movies. Don't ask me where they would stop the action to. I think actually maybe stop when. That's a tough. You know what? I have to read it again to say where I'd want to stop. I'd have to Peter Jackson that shit to say.
No,
if I wrote the
don't do the
screenplay-
multiple film bullshit.
No, you have
Please.
to. You have to.
No, yeah, but
Or-
you don't do
but
it to the
it-
first book.
Okay,
You don't break
maybe.
up Shakespeare's Hamlet into 2 movies. Like, you just don't
Yeah,
do
but
that.
Shakespeare's Hamlet
It's the same
has been
story.
done in one movie completely successfully, with all the.
Let's just
Because
call
it's a play. Like
and
there's
Dune
no exposition that isn't
Shakespeare's
set.
Hamlet redressed.
I will say too
If
that
you were to read Dune out loud, is what you're describing with Hamlet. You just can't do it.
I'm talking about the scope.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just saying
And
that
that
it
the
would
plot
just
is
take
the
too
same
long
too.
to tell the story. I know we're used to like 3-hour epic movies and stuff, but that's the problem with the original movie.
I agree. The
they tried to
complexity-
do it in one movie. The studio got involved. They fucking whatever happened, and it just was because they tried to do it in one.
Yeah, I agree. The complexities that's in Dune is
So
really,
that being said,
Multiple films?
they've
So is
tried-
that your answer?
Well, no. What I'm saying is they've tried a movie. they've tried a miniseries, but they have not tried TV. Movies aside, what would the TV show be like? What would you want to see TV-wise? Let's just, for the sake of argument, say Legendary does the first book. Would it be a good TV show?
You could do a good movie. You could do one good, solid 2-hour movie.
That's not my question. Question is, would it make a good TV show? Would it be better as a TV show because of the limitations on length? Just a episodic TV show? Or we've already been down that road. Just do 2 movies. They'll probably try for 3 because it's all about trilogies. But the books themselves are a trilogy because you have...
Yeah, that's why I think number 1 and number 2, number
Messiah.
3 should be movie 1, movie 2,
That'd
movie
be
3.
tough. I'd love to see them pull it off, but I would...
So that's my answer. I want to... If we're going to specify on that, like...
You're talking pie in the sky, like... I'd like to see it in one movie.
Not the whole trilogy. I would like to see the first Dune book in one movie and done with like the gusto that a Lord of the Rings game, you know.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, in a perfect world, I just don't see it happening. That's my take. Whether it's 1 or 2 movies, I like the idea that it would be broken up into a few movies. And I think that's honestly just where they're gonna go. Whether or not that's what I want. It just seems to me that book. You know what it is? Mostly it's how long it takes him to get to things. Because there's a lot of conversation. It's very Game of Thrones, before Game of Thrones.
Right.
All that geopolitical, like there's this whole space feudalism thing going on. There's a
Yeah.
lot
It
of
could work as a show, for sure.
That's
it
what I'm
could
saying,
work
right?
as a show.
Like, if you...
I don't disagree
If you
with
go
that,
more
but
into that end
I
of
wanna
it,
see
which is like the
millions
best
of
part
dollars
of it, in my
behind this thing.
opinion. Yeah, there's gonna be fucking Chris knives in throats like you wouldn't believe.
Blood and realness,
las
and,
guns and fucking atomics.
yeah,
all
and
that stuff.
you need
Thumpers, it's all gonna
hundreds
be
of millions
super
of
cool.
dollars to make sandworms, do their thing, and like
here's my
spaceships
issue.
and navigators and what.
Here's my issue with the whole shtick, and I hate to like even broaden this, but I am sick and tired of reboots. Period. And I think Dune.
Well, that's a whole other.
No, I know,
podcast.
but Dune is just.
But actually, we did talk about
Dune is
episode
Dune is just
24.
another example
We did
of that.
Yeah, we did the top
reboot.
10 best and worst reboots.
Yeah.
So check that out if you can. Click at the link in the description. But okay, so sorry, you're just sick of reboots.
Yeah, I'm sick of reboots, and
Let's
I
hear it
think
again.
They failed it twice. Let it die.
But Dune in general.
There isn't a.
Yeah, I'm talking about Dune. I'm talking about Dune. I'm talking about.
You say it shouldn't even be done.
I'm saying I'm tired of reboots,
Whoa.
and Dune is another attempt. They've
Here's the
already
thing.
rebooted
You gotta
it
do
twice.
Dune. It's
why
never
you
done
don't-
it right.
Here's the thing: you think you're tired of reboots, but what you're really tired of is reboots of movies that don't need reboots. If there is a case for movies that need reboots, it's fucking Dune.
Yeah, shitty actual real movie, and I mean, there's parts of that first movie, the David Lynch movie, that is good. The Sandworms looked bitchin'.
Yeah, they
the
were cool.
aesthetic was sweet. Everything looked good
costumes are
except for the
great.
still suits,
The
and
casting
except
was
for the
pretty
voice.
okay too.
Yeah, the casting was
that
all
whole
right.
voice thing, like
The voice thing was such a that's another thing I don't want to see.
I felt robbed. I felt hurt by that.
Yeah, one thing I want to see
like
in this.
Jodorowsky said, he had raped it.
Raped it.
Raped it. I'm pretty sure that's how he said it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he
I
did
want to
his own
see
raping,
them
and it was
not
good.
deviate from the books one iota if they can.
Okay, fair enough. Which
I'm not
again,
talking about they have to describe like narratively, like, and he was in the desert.
yeah,
and,
no, like-
no, but like
My
it's,
favorite
this happened
is-
in the books, and that's how it goes in the movie too. That's,
I mean, there's some things. A lot of it's inner workings, right? Like people's thought processes during conversations. There's even conversations that happen
In-
double, like where they're doing hand signals
Right.
while they're talking. That means other things. So they're saying things that are just benign,
Yeah,
but
I
their
think they
hand
did that in the
signals
first
are
book.
saying, which is
Brilliant.
cool. I'd love to see that finally done well in a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if they did it in the miniseries. I think they might have done subtitles or something for
course.
that. But like,
and that was what the miniseries did right, was that they didn't make these
no, they were
huge
they were
alterations.
true to the source material, and I think if they were to just do that again, but in movies, and then actually have a budget,
Yeah.
and
And then you have
jump-
to. That's what you have to do for the movies. You have to give it a budget.
Okay.
A TV show won't get the budget it needs to make wicked ass fucking
Okay,
Fremen
fair
riding.
enough. But that being said, there will be a TV show of some kind.
Yeah, you
So,
use that for
is it gonna
prequels.
be-
You use that for buddies. The
Okay,
Sun
so
stuff.
original 3 books, movies.
Yeah, that's number 1, 2, and 3.
So, but like Heretics of Dune, and what's the other one?
God Emperor of Dune.
God Emperor. I think Heretics would be a better choice for a show, mind you, because it's got a better
Valerian
protagonist.
Jihad, House of Atreides, that guy's books.
Well, yeah,
that guy's
that's true.
prequels.
Those are all prequels. I haven't read
TV.
a lot of those, but like that's a shitload of books. Like how many? Like
And
How
I mean,
long is this going to take?
we all
First of
know
all,
that the
like-
first Dune trilogy is the masterpiece, and everything is the milking of the titty afterwards. Let's be
No, that's
honest.
true. Well, God Emperor is good, but it's a little heady.
Yeah, you can't make that
It's-
into a movie.
God Emperor is not a good
not
book,
worth it.
even in my opinion.
Yep.
It's good,
Boring.
Dune stuff, but it's kind of boring. Yeah, but Heretics comes along.
I'd
and
say the
it's
expanded Dune
Heretics
universe
is
isn't
cool.
that good. It's the first 3 books in general
Yeah, no, you're
that
right.
are
I
the
agree.
true grit of the series.
Um,
So there you go. You got your movies, and then you got your TV shows with the extended
there's,
universe.
I mean, we're probably not doing a service to our audience, fellow imposters, about how.
then you could email
because we
Brick
haven't read
about
all
how you
the
hate
Dune
everything
stuff.
he
We
says.
haven't even read all the things that have been sold
Yeah.
to the. To
I'm not an
Legendary right now.
authority on it. But I am.
Yeah,
I
no,
have a
that's true.
PhD in Duneomics in from U of A. So I don't know. You could call a spade a spade.
Yeah, you are the leading authority.
So, but anyways, you can send your emails and hate mail to brickbra.
Yeah, I'm sure.
At
You know what I
brickbra.com.
found
I'll
great
fucking
about
read
the
it and
internet-
agree, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's right.
kidding.
We're- Well, that's it for this week's show. I hope you had as much fun listening to it as we did fumbling through it. Tune in next time when we'll be taking on hard-hitting topics such as the shitty year that was 2016 and other random bits of podcastery. If you liked our show, please share it with your friends and family, or slavishly devote your lives to worshiping our genius by liking and subscribing to the podcast. Maybe create a fan page or just go through our garbage. Until next time, imposters!